Hello. Okay, so I think this is gonna be the setup for today. I added some really cute bows to my headphones. Okay, I had to girlify the headphones one way or another, okay? Hi guys. Let me just get finished setting up. I think this is gonna be the setup. I have my notebook right here and I just need to press record and then let's get started. Let's hope that this is a good second episode. Hi, welcome back to Table for Two. I'm your host, Victoria. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Today's topic is going to be on, do I regret not going to college? I know. Let's get into it. So, if you don't know, I am not in college. I'm currently not in college. I did not graduate from college. I did go for a little bit, okay? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. And I did go. I did dip my toe in the college world, and then I got out of there, okay? So let's talk about it. Let's start from the beginning, okay? My siblings, let's go into them. There's a total of 5 of us. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, okay? My oldest brother did not go to college. He might have gone for like a little bit. We're kind of the same in certain ways. I think he went and then he got out of there too. After him, it's my oldest sister, and she is a college graduate. I'm very proud of her. College graduate. My sister after that, also another college graduate. Very proud of her. And then my brother, I believe he did go to college. I am just not sure if he graduated. So, woo! If I have those wrong, brothers, I'm so sorry. But as far as I know, my brothers are not college graduates, but I could be wrong. I have no idea. I don't think so, though. Me. I did go to community college for a little bit, and we'll talk about it. But that's my family background, okay? The women in my family, as in my sisters, did go to college, because how could you have not gone to college? My parents crossed to the United States so we can have a better life, so we can have better education. And here I am starting a podcast. I know. I did that to myself. So, I know a lot of people can relate to this. My parents are immigrants from Mexico. I know that they came here so they can have a better life, so they can give their family a better life. And yeah, you kind of come with the intention of there's better education, they can have a better life. And then you want your kids to go to college so they can be prepared, so they can have a good career, so they can actually succeed in life. That is the seed that is like planted in everybody, is that if you don't go to college, you're not going to succeed. You're not going to have a successful life, not a good career, not a good job, which means no money, which means no family, which means poor, which means homeless, which means you die alone. Yeah, all of it stems from that. My relationship with school has always been pretty good. I never not liked school. Like elementary school, I loved school. I loved reading. I remember like reading books, and like I had so many books, and I loved the idea of school. I really did. Middle school came around and I started thinking, you start thinking of colleges and stuff. And for some reason I was like, I'm gonna go to USC. They say shoot for the stars, okay? And I was like, USC all the way. Woo! Yeah, that was me for some reason. And then high school comes around, okay? And I don't even know how I got in there, but I think I got myself into Avid. If you don't know what Avid is, it's basically like this class that is specifically to prepare you for college. It shows you like how to take notes, like how to take proper college notes. And yeah, they just prepare you for college. That's their whole thing, is that like Avid kids prepare you for college. And you would think that would just be like a normal thing. Like if you're going to school, like it should just be all around. Like everybody should be getting the same resources and everything. But like, no, if you're an Avid, you are specifically dedicating your life to, I'm going to college. I don't know how I ended up in that class. I really don't know. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I signed myself up, but I guess. So I got myself into Avid, and immediately I did not like it in there. I was never a bad student. Like, I really wasn't, okay? I paid attention in class. I took notes. I highlighted my notes. Like, I was pretty good. I was organized already. And then you walk into this classroom, and immediately it was like, you have to do it this way. You have to do it this way. You have to do it this way. Or you're a failure. Like, there was no in between. There was no, like, you did good. Like, it was literally like, you have to take the notes this way, and like 100 of them. You have to take so many notes. And honestly, like in high school, sometimes the classes were literally not enough to take a full sheet of notes. So then I would have to turn in 10 notes. I'm pretty sure it was 10 notes at the end of every week, okay? I have 5 classes, okay? English and math and all of that and all of that. But that also includes dancing. That also includes like PE. And those are still classes that they expected notes out of. So imagine trying to bullshit a whole page of like, today I ran the mile and my average mile is 8 minutes. That's a lie. It was like 10 minutes. But you know what I'm saying? I had to take notes for everything because you have to be ready. You have to be college prepared. And I guess in college, they fucking take notes like no tomorrow. So I hated that class because I felt like I was just overdoing the work that like was not necessary. But whatever. I appreciated some of the things that I learned, like how to use a highlighter, I guess. I really honestly like I loved some of the people in that class, but I'm very sorry if like my old teacher is watching this. I really didn't appreciate that class. But honestly, I feel like if she's watching this right now, she would understand. Like she probably was like, this girl's not going to last in here. Like she probably saw that. Because she hated when I got out of that class. Because if you drop out of that class, you are immediately looked at like, do you not want a future for yourself? Do you not want a better life? You're not going to college? Like, they immediately make you feel like you are nothing. You're going to fail if you leave this class. That was me. That was me. Imagine I'm telling this teacher, I'm so sorry. I just don't really see myself in this class anymore. And she immediately, look of evil in her eye of just like, okay, I don't know what to tell you. Go. Let's see how you do it on your own. Instead of like I'm a kid. I'm a kid. And this is the advice that you were giving me. Oh, I remember feeling like schnit. Like literal schnit. Like, am I going to regret this decision? Am I not going to college? I'm so sorry. I really apologize to that teacher, but honestly, I really don't. I don't give a fuck. So whatever. One of the things that I got out of that class though was the field trips. We took trips to different colleges, and one of the colleges that we took a field trip to was Cal State Los Angeles. And I remember going to that school and being like blown away. Like we had gone to other schools, but I had never really like they were cute, they were cool, but they were like, oh, this one specializes in nursing and this one specialized. Like I never wanted to be a nurse. That was never my goal. Okay. But we went to Cal State LA, and immediately it was so like artistic and so many people. Like it literally felt like I was going to like, what's the school from Victorious? Like where they're all singing and dancing and actors are just walking around. Like I felt like I belonged there. Like it felt like such a creative school, and it actually had a really good film program. I was talking to one of the students that was there, and they were like, yeah, we have like one of the best film programs. And I was like, this is where I belong. Like this is my college. I will be going here. And then I was like, I don't even have to worry about like driving all the way to LA to go to this school. They have a train. They literally have a train stop that drops students off to school. And I was like, boom, I have made it. Ride the train and go to school. Film program, learn how to be a director, learn how to be an editor, work in Hollywood. Like those were my goals. You know, as I said, when I was little, I always wanted to be on TV. So working in film was something that I did want to do, something that I was passionate about. And I did see myself doing that. So I was like, boom, I'm going to go to college for film. Man. I really wonder how my life would have turned out if I never had this conversation with my mom. So, I was in the car with my mom, and I think we were passing by the school, and I just remember telling her, like, Mom, that's going to be the school that I'm going to. Like, it's Cal State LA. They have a train stop. Like, there's a train, like, by our house. Like, I could just ride it from my house to school. And, like, boom, like, it'd be so much fun. They have a great program. I remember being so excited about what I thought my life was going to be. And she was silent the whole time, was just letting me talk and ramble. And then she said, you're not going there. You're going to blank community college, which is a community college that is not far from my home. And I just remember being so confused. Like, I never once talked about that community college. I never once pictured myself going there. That has never came out of my mouth. Why did she just say that? She said, you're not going to Cal State LA. You're going there. Like, are you crazy? Like, you're not doing that. And I just remember just being so like shut down, like sad, like, wow, like this is not the reaction that I thought I was going to get. And here I am. I didn't even know how to feel. Like, I didn't even know what to do. So literally from then on, I was like, I'm not going to college. Because if I can't go to Cal State LA, like, for that, like, there's really no other, like, reason for me to go to college. Like, I'm not passionate about anything that has to do with college. Like, I think looking back now, I think I fell in love with the idea of going to college. The idea of me, like, riding the train every day, the idea of me making friends on campus, the idea of, filming and being surrounded by that environment and being in LA. Like, that was what I think I fell in love with, not the actual idea of school. Because again, I never loved school. I was never a bad student, but I never loved school. So looking back at it, I really do think that's what I had, like, fell in love with, was the idea of what my life could look like. And then for someone to tell you that, like, that's not what you're gonna do, it just really, like, took me back. It just really, like, then what else am I going to do? Looking back, I don't blame her. I don't blame her for saying that. You have to think I'm her last born. So the idea of me riding the train alone, the idea of me going to school far away alone, like, I understand why she said those things. So I don't blame her for saying that. I just know that when I'm a mother and my child says something that I maybe don't agree with, I'm going to think a little bit before I kind of shut down their dreams, just because I know what it can do to someone. So I don't blame her for doing that to me, okay? No hate, okay? I don't think that if you're going to community college, that makes you less of a person, okay? That's not at all what I'm going to, like, trying to say here. But I just knew that I saw more potential in myself than what that specific community college, like, I didn't see myself going there. Like, I did not see myself. That community college, specifically that one, just reminded me of, like, prolonged high school. Like, everyone in high school that, like, didn't pick a specific school is just gonna go there. Like, it was just an automatic thing. And I didn't see myself like I saw those students. Like, I didn't see myself as one of them, so I didn't want to go there. I also didn't want to go there because it was close to my house. And I was like, no, I want to get as far away as I can from here. So I did. Eventually I had to go to college, okay? My parents were very upset and just pushed it on me. And for the longest, I tried to hold off. I was really like, no, I do not want to go to school. But I caved. And I remember literally signing up. Like, I was so upset. I was with my sister. I remember being so upset and just like, fine, But if I have to go to school, I'm going to go to this school. And it was a community college, but it was farther away. It was a longer drive. And I was like, I'm going to go to that school because I don't want to go to this other community college where I'm going to see more of my high school friends. And no offense, I wanted to get out of that high school as soon as possible. Like, I just didn't want that for myself. So I went to a different community school. Okay. And I just remember like going there and having like no sense of direction. I never met with a counselor ever. I never like, I don't think I really ever even made friends. Like, I literally would just go and I would talk to people. I would like mingle and stuff, like people that sat next to me. But I didn't even get no college experience. And I think we all kind of fall in love with this idea of what a college experience is supposed to be. And I like didn't get any of that. So I just remember being so confused on like, my God, like I already don't want to be here. And then there's like no perks to me being here. Like, I remember being so upset of like, why am I doing this? So other than that, I had no like, what am I going to school for? Like, I had no idea what I was going to go to school for. So I was like, you know what? I love Law and Order. I love, Special Victims Unit. I could be a detective. I can solve crime. I can, get the bad people out of the streets. That's what I thought was my calling. So for my first class that I took at this community college, it was criminal justice. Yeah, that's what I did. Because I love watching, documentaries on crime. I love solving crime at home. I'm going to be a FBI agent. I'm going to be a detective. I'm going to be saving all the women's lives. Yep, that's what I thought I was going to do. I walk into this class, okay? And I remember just being so like, I do not belong here. Like, it felt like when you walked in that class, it was like a dark cloud of just like depression and sadness. And like everyone in there like had a reason to be in there. Everyone in there was like, my dad is in jail and I'm going to get him out of jail. And I was like, oh shit, okay. Like, my mom is a cop and I will be just like her. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And I had no reason to be in there. No one in my family is like in crime. No one's a cop. Like, there was no reason for me to be in there. But here I am, all fucking sunshine and rainbows, like walking in there like, yeah, I love documentaries and I love like Law and Order SVU. No, I did not belong in there. But I took the class, okay? I learned how to take fingerprints. I learned how to study people and how to look at them and body language and da 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 da. I learned like the way a blood splatter is on a wall, that like you can tell how it was hit, which is fucking crazy. But I learned it. I learned how to do it. But yeah, so I remember my teacher was a ex-FBI agent, I believe. So immediately I asked him all the important questions. Are aliens real? I asked him. I was like, okay. Like, okay, there's no cameras. I'm not an undercover cop or anything. You can tell me. Are aliens real? And he, I'm not convinced with his answer. He said no. I'm not convinced with his answer. Now, in 2023, I know that he lied to me. Because you see that shit in Mexico? Aliens are for sure real now. You guys saw E.T. was in a casket. Yeah, aliens are for sure real now. And so, whatever, I took that class. And like at the end of the class, when everyone's like saying their goodbyes and like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, teacher, for this. He pulls me aside. And he was like, hey, we got along pretty well. He was also an immigrant. And so we got along pretty well. And so we were talking one time and he pulls me aside and he was like, you don't belong here. And I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean? You're the one that crossed the border. What do you mean I don't belong here? I hope that was a good joke. But I was like, what do you mean I don't belong here? And he was like, you don't belong here. Like, you're so, like, he said, like, you're so full of light and you're so happy and positive, and this is just not the right, place for you to be. And looking back, I did not belong there. Like, the idea of me walking onto a crime scene, okay? Just imagine me walking into a crime scene, body on the ground, blood everywhere. What the fuck? What am I gonna be doing there? You think I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, taking notes? Fuck no, I'm not gonna be doing that. I would literally be shitting my pants and probably looking at the decor. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna be walking into that house and being like, oh wow, this is nice. This is a nice area. Like, I would not be taking that serious. And so I knew I didn't take offense to what he said, because I myself had no direction of where my life was going to go. So I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. So after that, I was like, well, I still got to go to college. Like, my parents are still expecting me to go to college. So I took a sewing class. Yeah, I took a sewing class and like a math class and a photography class all at one time. The math class, I got out of there. I think I went to like one class. And then I was like, what the like, I didn't learn any of that in high school. So I didn't even go to that class, which is bad. I took a sewing class, and I actually really appreciated that sewing class. It was like a sewing, like fashion 101 class. And I actually really appreciated that class because I've always wanted to learn how to sew. I've always wanted to like make my own clothing, have my own clothing brand one day. So I did appreciate that class a lot. I learned a lot of things from that class. And because of that class, it actually led me to, I started selling my own clothes. I used to thrift clothes and then like cut them up, sew them up in a different way and sell them. And so I really do appreciate like taking that class. So then I took this photography class. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm taking pictures of everything. Like, I should be a photographer. I love taking pictures. Let me learn photography 101. So I'm in this class, photography 101. And it was pretty good. It was like a couple classes in. We watched like movies of like different artwork and different ways to take pictures and artistic styles and stuff like that. And then COVID happened. COVID happened and everything switched over to Zoom. I remember getting an email of like, okay, our first class is going to be on this day. This is the Zoom link. Boom. So here I am. Kind of sad because the whole point of me going to college, like physically and not just doing it online, is because I do not have the attention span to be there online. Like, no, I can't. I have to drive there. I have to physically be there. Because if I'm just pulling out a laptop and like doing this, no, I'm going to be way too distracted. I did it. I pulled out my laptop, clicked on the Zoom link, and I'm there. I'm waiting. Okay. I see like, all this 10 squares of students. And the teacher never showed up. And I just remember like thinking like, why am I taking this serious if my own teacher isn't going to be taking this serious? So I left. I left and I said, you know what? I'm going to not do college right now. Okay. This should be done. This whole virus thing says it's only going to last like 2 weeks. I'm gonna let it do its thing, settle down, and what? In like a month or two, I'll be back to normal. I'll just be going to school again. Yeah, that shit never happened. I remember telling my dad. My dad was like, "You're not, I don't see you on the computer. You're not going to school." And I told him, I was like, "Dad, don't worry. Like, cause of COVID, like my teacher didn't show up. Like, why am I gonna be taken serious?" Like, I did the whole spiel. And then I ended it with like, Dad, when COVID is over, I'll go back to school. Like, don't even worry, Dad. And then that COVID bitch never left. She lasted longer than 2 weeks. And honestly, I know everyone's experience with COVID was different. Okay, so my condolences, because I know a lot of people lost a lot of people to COVID, okay? Everyone had a different experience with COVID. And there's a part of me that thanks COVID, because if it wasn't for COVID, I would probably still be forcing myself to go to school. And I would probably hate myself. I would probably be dying right now. And so I kind of thank her in a way for coming, because if it wasn't for her, I would not have had the courage to just drop it, to just leave school. But because of her, she made it easy on me, and I dipped out of there as fast as I could. So I started working more since I wasn't in school, and they would bring it up. My parents would bring it up, like, hey, are you still gonna go to school? And I would still say the same thing, like, when COVID is over, I will go back to school. Don't worry, I'll go back. And I knew I wasn't gonna go back. But I knew I had to figure some shit out. I knew that if I wasn't gonna go to school, that I would have to figure out how to make money. Because at the end of the day, that is kind of what matters. Like, my parents want to make sure that I'm not going to be on the streets, that I'm not going to be homeless, that I'm going to be able to survive on my own. And so that's what I knew I had to figure out, was how am I going to make money? How am I going to survive on my own? So I did little projects, okay? I started selling clothes. I started my own thrift store online where I would sell clothes online. I started going to actual flea markets and having a pop-up shop and selling clothes. Like, I had constant money, like, coming in always. I was doing YouTube. I started to get brand deals, but I didn't really know how to negotiate for myself. So I was really only getting like $50 here and there. And so I knew, like, I had to, like, something just had to stick, like something that I had to really like and be able to get money from. Like, I'll be able to survive. I just need to, like, push a little bit more. There comes that time, okay, especially with social media, there comes that time where everyone starts posting, themselves in a gown, themselves with their diploma, themselves with their new big girl job and their new career. And you can't help but, like, think, like, damn, like, oh, that would have been me. Like, I would have been graduating at this time. And I remember seeing all those, like, posts, all those stories, everything, and just thinking, like, did I make the right decision? Like, not going to college? Did I, like, seeing them and not necessarily feeling like FOMO, like, it kind of was that, like, I don't have that. Like, I didn't get to experience that. I didn't get to have that of, like, I worked for this and I have a diploma. Like, I furthered my college education. Like, I didn't have any of that. And growing up, if you don't go to college, you're seen as, like, then what are you going to do with yourself? So it made me feel like less of a person. It made me feel like what I'm doing, I'm not going to succeed in. And so I only felt like this because that's what I was, like, made to feel. You grow up and you're made to feel like if you don't go to school, if you don't go to college, you're not going to do anything with your life. There's no other path. Like, there's literally no other path. Unless you're a millionaire and you grow up in money, there's no other way to make money. And I just knew that just wasn't true. That wasn't true. Like, especially growing up and in the age of, like, YouTube and seeing people like that, like, succeed online with their online presence and being able to do that, I was like, why? I love that. I genuinely love to make videos. I genuinely love, like, doing that. Why isn't that, like, considered a career? Like, why isn't that, like, I want to do that. They didn't go to college. I want to do that. And so, yeah, you're always made to feel bad for choosing this. I'm a waitress full time. I make that my whole personality. And I get asked daily by customers, like, are you going to school? First of all, I have never asked that question myself to anybody. I have never asked somebody, are you going to school? You know why? Because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're going to school. Like, I never cared. Like, I value, like, you. I care about you as a person. I don't care if you're going to school. If we're talking about school, then sure, like, oh, are you going to school? But I've literally never asked that question. And I get asked that question even now, daily. Are you going to school? And I know, like, I'm about to say no. And then I'm going to have this 5-minute conversation of, like, oh, really? Like, what are you going to do? Like, I already know. So I get asked, are you going to school? And I'm like, no, just working full time. Oh, that's gonna be really hard. And I have to pretend like I don't know that. Like, oh man, like hopefully, I do. Like, really, I'm not gonna explain to you like my dreams and my aspirations and all of this. Like, I don't even know you. I'm not gonna have this conversation with you. But I hate that that's a question. I hate that that's like, I feel like that should be under the whole, like, you don't ask a woman her age. You should also not ask someone if they're going to school. First of all, why do you even care? Why do you care? Are you going to open your own school? Are you trying to recruit students? Why the fuck do you care? So, yeah. If I was you, I would stop asking people if they're going to school or not. That's like asking someone like, oh, are you going to start a family? Who the fuck cares? Sometimes not everybody wants to have kids. I do. I do want to have kids. Okay, I do. I want to have like 10. But like, I understand people's argument, like when someone's like, yeah, I want to have kids, but it's hard. Like, I can't have kids, or like, I've been trying to have kids, but I can't have kids. Like, there's just certain questions that, like, you shouldn't ask because you don't know, like, the answer that you're gonna get, And so I would stop asking people if they're going to school, okay? Because not all of us want to go to school. You know what's even worse, though? Old teachers. Old beloved teachers that I had. Because I have a restaurant, I have lots of people that go to this restaurant. So I have people that I've known since I was a child. One of these people are old teachers that I had. And they come to eat, and every single time that they've ate, they have asked me this question, as if my answer is going to change. They have asked me, so, are you going to school? And I have to look at them. And these teachers are older, okay? These teachers are older, come from the generation of, if you don't go to school, you're going to fail, you're going to die, you're going to be homeless. They come from that generation, okay? And so I have to look at these beloved teachers that were always so kind to me, and I've known them for a long time. And I have to tell them, no, I'm not going to school. A part of me wants to tell them, like, yes, I am going to school, just so they stop asking me. But I know that that's not going to get me anywhere. So I tell them, no, I'm not going to school. I'm working full time. I try to make it sound as positive as possible because I know that they're looking at me like this poor lost potential. You could have done so much. And I really want to ask them, like, you guys knew me when I was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. Did you actually see me, like, going to school? Like, what did you see me doing? Did you see me in an office? Did you see me as a nurse? Did you see me as a doctor? Like, what did you see me as? If you, like, thought that I was going to go to college for sure, like, what did you see me doing? And I really want to ask them that, because I wonder if they themselves are going to be like, oh, I actually, like, no, I didn't see that. I really want to know their answer. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for having that mindset of, you have to go to college, because I know that was pushed onto them too. And I know that at one point, college was the answer, College was the answer at one point, But you also have to understand that the resources that we have now were not available back then. So of course college was the answer. Now, if I want to start a business, it's easier than ever. I can look up how to start my own podcast. Boom. Do this, and do this. Buy this, and buy this, and buy this. Boom. Look at me. I have a podcast now. Like, how do I start my own clothing brand? Do this. And like, boom. I don't have to pay so much money. First of all, I didn't even get into that part, but you have to pay so much money to even go to fucking college. I don't have to do that. Why? Because the internet is free. All the resources that I need are free. Now, I hope that at least with this episode, you guys all understand that, like, if you yourself see yourself as a veterinarian, as a doctor, as a nurse, as a dentist, as a teacher, you're going to have to go to college, okay? Because there's certain requirements to do those things. But I'm here to tell you that if you, at your young age of 16, 17, 18, you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to know what you're going to do for the rest of your life. I thought I was going to be Hannah Montana. No. I thought I was going to be a veterinarian. But then when I learned that I had to fucking also kill the animals, I was like, no, I'm not doing that either. Like, I really hope that whoever's watching this and is currently debating on going to college, is currently thinking, they're in college and they're thinking, is this even for me? I want you to understand that you have time. You have so much time, okay? I also want you to understand that if you're going to choose to not go to college, like myself, I know this. You're going to have to work really hard. You're going to have to work really hard because you're going to get so much shit from everybody, okay? And you have to be okay with that. You have to be able to take that and understand where they're coming from, not take it as, too personal. Just understand where they're coming from and move on. You're going to have to work really hard, okay? Because now if you want a job, some jobs are going to be like, oh, well, you need to have this diploma or you need to have some college-like background, and you don't have that. So you're going to have to work 10 times harder to prove that, yeah, I didn't go to college, but I'm still qualified. I can still do this. I can still talk. I can still, you're going to have to do that for yourself. And I knew that going into this. I knew that I believed in myself and my ability to, figure it out. I don't want to go to college because I don't see myself in an office. I don't see myself typing away my life. I don't see myself in a cubicle. I don't see myself having meetings with like people and like taking notes. Like, I knew that about myself. But I also knew that if I wanted to choose a different route, it's going to be a really long and bumpy route because I'm going to have to figure it out on my own. At least when you go to college, you might have some sort of direction. You might meet certain people. But now, if I'm going to go this route, you're going to be on your own. You're going to have to figure it out by yourself. So I just want anybody who's listening to this, who didn't go to college, who is thinking about not going to college, or who is currently in college and doesn't know what to do, just really think about it, okay? Really think about it if that's something that you want to do. Because the thing is, if I want to go to college in a year from now, in 2 years, 5 years, it's still going to be there. It will still be there. And I can still go. There's no age requirement. Like, there's no like, oh, once you're 25, you can't go to college. No, not at all. So many people graduated college at an older age. So many people found their career later on. Like, I have time. But for right now, I'm going to figure my own self out. And if I, for some reason, want to be a fucking nurse later, I'll go to school then. But for now, I'm good with just figuring it out on my own. My family, I feel like my family barely, kind of came to the conclusion of like, okay, she's not going to college. But I also did a lot for that. Like, I showed them that I'm constantly working on something. I'm constantly making money. I work at the restaurant, at the family restaurant. Like, I'm constantly doing something to provide for myself. So I feel like that gave them a sense of, okay, like, she'll be fine. She got this. So they stopped asking. They stopped telling me to go to college. And I actually had a conversation with my sister not that long ago where she said, we were talking about college. And she said, like, I understand why you didn't go. And I'm starting to see that college isn't for everybody. And it literally felt like fireworks, bro. It felt like fireworks were going off. Because this is the sister that's, like, so like fucking like everything that you want your daughter to be, that's her. And she's telling me that it's okay that I didn't go to college. She's telling me that like I understand why you didn't go. I understand that it's not for everybody. Like she's telling me this. This is also the same sister that signed me up. And she's telling me that it's okay that I didn't go. This shit like hit my heart, bro, because I was like, thank you. Like having your support means everything to me. You know, because of course in the back of my mind, I'm always going to think like, shit, should I have just gone to like make my parents feel happy? Like, should I have just done it for them? But at the end of the day, it's my life. At the end of the day, I'm the one that's going to have to live with my decision. You know, I love my parents and I will do everything I can to make it up to them, okay, for being such a different child than my whole family. I was such a different child compared to everyone, and I will try my best to make it up to you guys. And I don't regret my decision. I don't regret my decision on not going to college. I am still happy with my decision on not going. I don't see myself as less of a person for not going. I don't see myself as less educated. I'm not that fucking smart. When it comes to book smarts, I'm not that smart, okay? When I use slightly bigger words, I like pat myself on the back. But I just knew that that just wasn't going to be for me. And I think that that's okay. You know, not everybody is like meant to be the same person. You know, not everyone's going to have the same story. And that's okay. That's kind of what makes it the whole thing interesting. So, if you're out there and you're currently struggling in college, you're currently only going to college because your parents are immigrants and you want to make them feel proud, or even if they're not immigrants and you just want to make your parents feel proud, I'm here to tell you that you have my support. Do whatever makes you happy. Just know you're going to have to work a little harder if you're not going to go. But I believe in you. I do believe in you. You have my support. If you open your own business, shoot me a link. I'll buy something. I'll support you. I just want you guys to know that you guys have time. You guys have time. You don't have to figure shit out. At 16, when I was in Avid, I was 16. In Avid. I did not want to sign away my life and go to college. No. I'm here to tell you that it's okay. You will get it figured out. On a lighter note, you know, just to end off this topic on a lighter, you know, I don't want it to be so deep all the time. Let's do a little recap of what my week was looking like. So, I went thrifting the other day. That was cool. I found some really cute stuff. I feel myself like growing out of my era. You know, I feel like I'm a fucking butterfly right now. I feel like I'm like coming out of a cocoon and like a whole new me is coming out. I'm like looking at my clothes that I have right now and I'm like, ugh, God, why would I wear that? Like I can feel myself like growing up, and it makes me sad sometimes, but it's also like kind of cool to like think about. So I went thrifting the other day and I found pieces that I'm like, oh shit, like look at me. This is so ladylike. This is so like woman. And here I am trying my best to be a woman. I don't even know what that means yet. But yeah, I went thrifting, which was cool. I been going to the gym and I'm starting to look at the gym in a different light. I used to be really hard on myself at the gym. I had such kind of like not unrealistic goals, but I started the gym thinking like, okay, I just want to be like super fucking skinny. That is all I want. I just want to go to the gym to be really fucking skinny. And like now, that's like not my goal at all. Like I don't want to be skinny. I want to be able to fucking do push-ups. Like, I want to be able to do like a pull-up. I want to be able to be strong. Like, I want to be able to like do shit. And like, I'm not necessarily going for an image anymore. I'm not going with the idea of I want to look like her. Like, no, I want to be healthy. I want to go and clear my mind in the morning and get ready for my day. Like, I look at it in a different light now, and I can feel myself evolving, and I can feel myself growing into who I am, like, meant to be, supposed to be, you know? So it's been cool. It's been really nice. I have really exciting things coming up in the following weeks. I got invited to like a couple events, which are really cool, and I can't wait to like tell you guys all about them when they happen. So yeah, just a little like ending recap. I want you guys, if you guys are going to take anything from this podcast, I want you guys to know that you have time. You have so much time. You have so much time to think about your future, to think about your life and how you want to do your life, live your life, okay? You have so much time. And that's going to be a topic that we're going to talk about. Time. And how we have so much of it. But that's for next week. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this second episode. I think it was a little longer than last week's episode, so I hope you guys didn't get too sick of me. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support on the first episode. That was so cool to see. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. I ordered DoorDash, and my food's here, so I'm about to go eat. Bye.